Hello guys, welcome back. Today I am going to take the next topic from class 11 chapter 4 Animal Kingdom, that is Phylum Annelida. As you already know, I have already told you most of the points about Phylum Annelida in my first, second and third lecture, where I gave you a comparative characteristics of almost all the non-chordates, but in a comparative form. So keeping that in background, we will take up today's class. We'll learn those points better, and there may be some new points which I also will need to share with you. So as we always do, we start any topic with habitat. You know that habitat is a place where an organism lives. In case of annelids, they may be aquatic, and in aquatic they may be marine and freshwater both, right? And they may be terrestrial, and they may be free living, and some of them they may be parasitic. That means annelids, they are almost found in all the habitats. Some of them they are aquatic, like I'll give you an example, Neris. आप बाद में पढ़ेंगे. There's an example Neris which is aquatic. ठीक है, Nereis, it is aquatic. Then some of them they are terrestrial. You will take the example of earthworm. ठीक, and some of them are parasitic. The example is leech. We are going to see that later. So this is about the habitat. Now from habitat we move to the body structure. You can very well see that the body of the annelid is quite cylindrical. यहाँ पे एक earthworm का you can see the photograph of a leech. The body is quite cylindrical and very clearly evident. The symmetry is also the symmetry is bilaterally symmetrical. ठीक है? Now segmentation, you know that there are very few animals whose body is segmented. One of the organisms जिसका body truly segmented है, that is actually your annelids. In annelids we find true metameric segmentation. I told you earlier what is metameric segmentation, where the external segmentation due to annuli, this external segment को हम कहते हैं annuli, corresponds with the internal segment due to septa. ये अंदर वाले को हम कहते हैं septa. Both of them they correspond with each other. मतलब body बाहर से भी segmented है, अंदर से भी segmented है. Second, we know that there is the parts are interdependent. You can see over here there is an excretory organ nephridia, and this nephridia is found in all the segments. That means the segments they work in coordination. The same organ is found in all the segments. That means the segments they actually work in coordination. So body is metamerically segmented. That means the body is externally divided into rings by annuli and internally by septa. Each individual segment, this is called as metamer. ठीक है? So this is regarding the body form and segmentation. Germ layers, you know कि from platyhelminth onward, all of them are triploblastic. That is, the body has an ectoderm, mesoderm and an endoderm. So the body is triploblastic, and you know that from annelids are the first organism where true coelom develop. Now you know what is a true coelom. You know that the body has three germ layers. This is the outer ectoderm, and you can very well see that this is the inner endoderm. Okay, this is ectoderm. This is your outer ectoderm. You can see this is the outer ectoderm. Now this is the inner endoderm. This one. This is the inner endoderm. And then you have mesoderm split on either sides. That means part of the mesoderm is over here and part of the mesoderm is here. That means mesoderm is split. That means there is a body cavity called as coelom, and this coelom is guarded by mesoderm on either side. Such a body cavity is called as true coelom, and annelids are the first organism where we find the true coelom. That means they are called as coelomates. The symmetry is bilaterally symmetrical, very clearly evident that there is only one plane through which the body can be divided into two equal halves. There is only one plane which will divide the body into two equal halves. Such a symmetry is called as bilaterally symmetrical. So you know them, they are triploblastic, they are coelomate, the body is bilaterally symmetrical, the body is cylindrical in outline, and they are found in aquatic, terrestrial and parasitic modes. ये आपको जो basic पता चल गया इसका. Now level of organization, you know that from askal helminth only we had organ system level of organization. So obviously in them also we will have organ system. Which organ system has come first in them? Circulatory system. These are the first organism where we find a circulatory system. बाकी यहाँ पर तो they have shown a lot of system. They have shown digestive system, they have shown muscular system, they have shown reproductive system. Circulatory system is not shown here, but these are the first organism where circulatory system has also come up. So let us come one by one to all the systems. We'll do that very quickly. First is the digestive system. We know that in them the digestive system is complete. That means there is a distinct mouth and a distinct anus, and the digestive system is differentiated into pharynx, esophagus, gizzard, stomach, intestine, small intestine, large intestine, typhlosoal, like this. You can see here. Just look at this. There's a definite mouth and there's a definite anus. So this type of digestive system is called as complete digestive system, and digestion is completely extracellular. Digestion takes place only in this gut, right? From there we will go to the excretory system. You know that excretory system came for the first time in platyhelminth. So platyhelminth ke baad all the phylum, they have excretory system. Now something about the excretory system of annelids. The excretory system of annelid is called as nephridia, and in my previous lecture I told you that excretory system has two roles. One is osmoregulation and the other is excretion. तो ये दोनों रोल ये भी करता है. But I want to tell you something about this nephridia. पहले तो यहाँ पर देखिए how does this nephridia look like. You will study in detail about this nephridia when you will study earthworm. लेकिन फिलहाल यहाँ पर देखो. This yellow structure in this diagram, this is the nephridia. You can see there is a quite broad, काफी चौड़ा हिस्सा है. ठीक, this is called as nephrostome. Stome means mouth. This protonephridia का mouth is called as nephrostome. So मैं यहाँ पर parallel I will draw. So this is the first part which is funnel-like. You can see here, and this first part which is funnel-like, this is called as nephrostome. Right? Now from nephrostome you will see that a tube-like structure it arises, and this is highly coiled. You can see that anything which is highly coiled, this is to increase the surface area so that it gets more time to filter out the waste. See, and ultimately see this is the tube-like structure about which I was actually talking to you. This is called as the nephric tube. So let me draw it here. I am just drawing it like this. So maybe this is my long tube-like structure, and this long tube-like structure has been actually labeled as nephric tube. Very good. So this is my second structure. Okay. Now this will open to the outside by a pore-like structure. ये waste एक pore-like structure से बाहर में देता है, and this pore is called as the nephriospore. So here you will see now there is a pore-like structure, and this pore is called as nephriospore. Nephriospore. Now listen. What happens is you must have noticed that the mouth has numerous cilia. So इसके mouth में there is numerous cilia like this, and the body internally is also heavily ciliated. What they do is this nephrostome, it collects the waste, right? It collects the waste. Now this waste is propelled, it is pushed through this entire nephridia with the help of this cilia. In the process, the useful substances, they are reabsorbed and the waste is accumulated. इसमें से काम की चीजों को हम reabsorb कर लेते हैं and waste accumulate होता जाता है, and finally through this pore called as nephriospore, the waste is actually expelled to the outside of the body. You can see this. This is the inside of the body. We picked up the waste, and there is a pore which is leading to the outside. Through this pore, the waste will be actually given to the outside. So this is a typical structure found only in annelids, and the structure is called as nephridia. Now let us come to respiration. Now till annelids, there is no specific respiratory organ. आपको पता है annelids, they actually stay in moist areas. तो उनका cutaneous respiration होता है. The skin is moist. So if you have observed an earthworm, you just put some salt over the earthworm, the skin ka moisture will dry up and the earthworm will die. Why? Because the skin is moist, air ka oxygen dissolves in this moist water, and then the exchange of gases take place across the skin. So in them, the respiration is cutaneous through skin. Very rare few forms you find these gills, because arthropoda में we will have this gills, but this you need not know. ये आप मत याद करिएगा, आप केवल याद करिएगा that respiration is through the moist body surface, and since it is through the skin, we call this as cutaneous respiration. Now these are the first organism where we find the circulatory system, and the circulatory system is closed in them. I told you what is a closed circulatory system. I told you in closed circulatory system, say if this is your heart, so the blood will flow once it comes out of the heart, it will flow through fixed channels, that is artery. It may be called artery or vein and capillary as in us, but the blood will flow only through fixed channel. It will not leak out of this channel. It will not flow in the common body spaces. Such a circulatory system, just with blood, flows through, you know, closed chambers. This is called as your closed circulatory system. मैं यहाँ पर आपको एक बात बताऊँ. This is a diagram of closed circulatory system which I have taken from another chapter. That means I have taken from chapter 7, जहाँ पर earthworm is dealt in detail. This diagram, up to AIMS ka, you do not have a separate exam. You will be having a single window examination, that is NEET. But 1 year, you will not believe, just this diagram came in the AIMS exam, and that too just 2 years back. This diagram came, the labeling was absent, and the option was that identify the figure, and the option was A, it represents the closed circulatory system of earthworm, say B, it represents circulatory system of mollusk, C, D, something like this. So what I want to tell you is, questions they come from NCERT. You have to be very thorough. We will be taking a pass out batch right now for children. We will make them expert in NCERT with every diagram, every line from the NCERT. So what I want to say is, when you look at these diagrams, you just have a good look, because at times the question comes, just they will show the diagram and they will ask you, just identify this diagram. Right? So this diagram is the closed circulatory system. You can see here what happens is the blood is actually, these are the lateral hearts. These structures, they represent the lateral hearts, and labeling bhi dekha kariye. They will at times, you know, wipe off the labeling and ask you to do the labeling. Then this is just showing these structures are hearts. This is the lateral heart, this is the esophageal heart, this is the then through this heart, see, this blood goes through fixed blood vessels. So here you can see this is the ventral vessel, they have shown here in purple color, and the dorsal vessel they have shown in the red color. Is that clear? So this is the circulatory system. Again, you can see here, you can see the circulatory system is closed. That means the blood is actually going through fixed channels. So these are the first organs of where circulatory system actually came up. Locomotion, how do they move? They have different methods to move. They, you know that axial helminth onward, we have both longitudinal and circular muscles. And what is the advantage of longitudinal and circular muscles? The longitudinal muscle will help move like this, and circular will move, so that gives a complete good peristaltic movement. So what are the types of locomotion that is actually found in them? Just we will have a look. So 3 types of locomotory organ is found in them. I am just showing it here, then I will show you in detail each one of them. In terrestrial forms, like earthworm, there is a hair-like structure. This is called as CT or Sweta. In aquatic forms, like Nereis, just have a closer look. Just take a closer look. I will show you later. They have these small structures called as parapodia. And in leech, they do not have a locomotory organ, they just contract the muscles of their body, and this is how they move. We will see them each one at a time. So first I told you about the terrestrial forms. So in terrestrial forms like earthworm, if you see it very clearly, these are some dotted points. These are small hair-like structures. These small hair-like structures are called as CT. Now if I enlarge this portion, this is how it looks. The CT, it comes out from within the body. It is something hair-like this, and it is because of this hair-like structure the earthworm is able to move. So then CT, they are chitinous bristles. They arise from the within the skin, and they help in movement in terrestrial forms like earthworms. Now let us look at the aquatic forms like Nereis, which is a polychaete also. So I will just show you this diagram a little enlarged. Let us come and see here how it looks. So this is the diagram of Nereis. Nereis is aquatic, right? So if you just look at this area, see how this is expanded like an oar, patwar. When you row a boat, you have an oar. So see, they have become flattened like oar, which may contain cilia, and this actually acts as a paddle, and thus it helps in the movement of the Nereis, since it is an aquatic form. ठीक? So in aquatic form, the parapodia is the locomotory organ. And now let us look at the some parasitic form like leech. You can very well see the muscles, they are contracting, thus leading to movement in them. Next system that we will see is nervous system. Again, no need to study too much. You know that it is a non-chordate. So in all the non-chordate, you will have a ventral solid nerve cord. So in them also, you know, the this is double ventral nerve cord, which is meant to be solid. So see, this is the solid nerve cord from which, you know, some this is made of paired ganglia. You need not know what is a ganglia. Actually, if you want to know, I'll tell you what. Neurons are outside central nervous system. Brain and spinal cord के बाहर जो न्यूरॉन्स का ग्रुप होता है उसको हम लोग गैंग्लिया बोलते हैं. वी कॉल देम एज गैंग्लिया. तो ऑब्वियसली अभी आपका अर्थोन में तो ब्रेन आपका डेवलप नहीं है. सो दे आर जस्ट पैकेट्स ऑफ न्यूरॉन्स. दे आर कॉल्ड एज गैंग्लिया. दे आर फाउंड इन पेयर एंड दे आर जॉइंड लाइक कॉर्ड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर. सो दे हैव अ वेंट्रल solid nerve cord. That much is more than enough for you to know. And the last system which we always study, that is the reproductive system. In them, in some of them, please learn these examples. The sexes may be separate, as in case of Nereis. See this, polychaete or Nereis. इसमें male is separate and female is separate. ठीक? That means male में you have the male gametes, that is sperms being formed, and female में you have the female, they have the ovary where the female gamete, that is egg, is formed. That means the sexes may be separate, as in polychaetes, which actually is represented by Nereis. Yeah, they may be, you know, hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite means एक ही body में you can see you have both the this is the testis and this is the ovary. Both the testis and ovary, they are present in the same organism. They are also called as hermaphrodite. So leech and earthworm are hermaphrodite, right? Leech and earthworm are hermaphrodite, while Nereis, also called as polychaetes, they are actually unisexual, while these are bisexual. You know that in all invertebrates, most of them, the development is indirect. So in them also development may be indirect, and name of one of its larva is trochophore larva. Different types, they form different larva. So name of one of the larva is your trochophore larva. Is that clear? So with that, all the characteristics have been dealt with. Now we will go for some common examples. Please learn only 3 examples. PHN, phone. Phone का short form, PHN, right? P is Ferritima, also called as earthworm, right? This is terrestrial. Then H is Hirudinea, also called as leech, blood-sucking leech. It is a parasite. And N is Nereis, which is actually a polychaete, and this is aquatic. So aquatic, terrestrial, and parasitic. These are the 3 examples that you need to learn. Now that we have done all the characters, we will very quickly see what is there in your NCERT. So please open page 52 of your NCERT, and if you open page 52, just look at the points. They may be aquatic, marine or freshwater, they may be terrestrial, they may be free living, sometimes parasitic, organ system level of development. Then they are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, metamerically segmented, and coelomate. Body has 2 segments called as metameres. Annelids means annulus, ring. Since they have 2 rings, you know, so we call them as annelids. They possess longitudinal and circular muscles, which actually helps in locomotion. And then aquatic forms, they have parapodia like Nereis. For swimming, the circulatory system is closed. Nephridia is for excretion and osmoregulation. Nervous system has paired ganglia, which are connected by lateral nerves, and they have double ventral solid nerve cord. Nereis is aquatic form. It is unisexual, but earthworm and leech, they are bisexuals. Reproduction in them is purely sexual. There is no asexual reproduction in them. Kuch common example mein, this is the diagram of here, this one, Nereis. This is the example of leech. Other than that, you need to know earthworm, and yes, and you need to know their common names as well. With that, we have come to an end to Phylum Annelida. I hope all the points are very clear to you. In my next lecture, we will go to the next phylum, that is phylum Arthropoda. Till then, just keep revising, keep studying. We'll meet you soon. Good luck and goodbye.